Won't look like rain.
Won't look like snow.
Won't look like fog. That's all we know. We just can't tell you anymore.
We've never made Oobleck before.
But we will today. Hi, I'm Bree.
And I'm Jeanne.
And today we are doing No Screen Time, Steam Time. And we are going to be exploring science.
Which, say it with us, is
the S in STEAM.
We will discover how certain matters can change based on pressure or force.
And experience a fun, simple, but messy experiment.
Okay. Today, like we said, we are going to make Oobleck.
And if you haven't heard of Oobleck before, it is the screened substance that is from a Dr. Seuss book called Bartholomew and the Oobleck. So that's what we're going to do today. Don't forget to be on the lookout for the following STEAM vocabulary, which are
viscous,
which is having a thick, sticky consistency between a solid and a liquid.
Pressure,
which is continuous physical force exerted on or against an object by something in contact with it.
And non-Newtonian.
Non-Newtonian, so a fluid that does not follow Newton's law of viscosity. So it can, when under force, can become more liquid or more solid. All right, and for today's lesson, we are making a non-Newtonian fluid, which is going to be the Oobleck. So it can be both. It's really cool because it can be both like a solid and a liquid, just based on how much pressure or force you're putting on it. What happens is when you mix cornstarch and water, the cornstarch particles suspend inside the water, and then when force is applied, they get mashed together, but there's still water molecules stuck in between, so that's what helps make it become like temporarily solid. Then when you let it go, it becomes liquid again. It's really cool. And like I said, it's named after Bartholomew and the Oobleck by Dr. Seuss.
All right, so the supplies you will need for today are the cornstarch, water, a bowl, and spoon.
Super simple, and we're going to be using a 1-to-2 ratio for the cornstarch and water. So.
Okay, sounds like fun.
Let's get started. Okay, so to get started with our Oobleck, we have our cornstarch, our water, and then we're also going to do some food coloring. So we're choosing green to make it look more like the Oobleck from the Dr. Seuss book. Okay.
All right, so what do we need first?
So we're going to go ahead and scoop out some cornstarch on here. Like I said, it's a 1-to-2 ratio, so you're going to want to do more cornstarch or double the cornstarch that you would water. We're just going to eyeball it, but if you guys want to measure it, you can do like 1 cup of water and 1 cup of cornstarch. Or 2 cups of cornstarch, I apologize.
Okay, so you got 1, 2, how many should we go?
I would say put a decent heap.
3,
okay, maybe right there.
4.
And then we're just going to add a little bit of water. If you want to flatten that down a little bit, Jeanne, just so we're just going to add a little bit at a time. Let's try that. Oh, whoops. Yeah.
So yeah, it can get a little bit messy, so you want to make sure you're in an area where it's no problem with cleanup.
Yes. So the kitchen would be a good area. But I think we're going to need a little bit more water. Ooh, that might have been too much, but it's okay because we can add a little bit more cornstarch.
Okay.
So, as you can see, it's kind of weird because you can kind of see it getting like really thick.
Yeah.
And it looks liquidy, but then when I start trying to push it with my spoon, it gets really like hard. It's a really cool consistency. I don't know how true this is, but I heard that like because it does harden, when you put pressure on it, that if you were to like smash it with a hammer, that it could shatter.
Oh, wow.
But I was just like, oh, we're not going to try that today.
No.
But I'm like, it's very interesting. Let's kind of get that last chunk in there. It's kind of really interesting how it works. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen, there's a lot of videos. Oh, there's a hair in there. A lot of videos where people can run across it if they do it really fast. Otherwise, if they do it more slow, then it kind of, they sink in because it becomes like softer. It's not as like a direct force against it.
Do you think it needs a little bit more?
I think maybe just a little bit of more cornstarch, like the tiniest bit, because I think I just poured a little bit too much water.
Right.
Oh, yeah, probably right there.
All right.
So cornstarch is often used as a thickening agent in cooking, I know, I like in gravies and stuff like that. But it also just makes a really fun, like, experiment to play with at home, because it's like super easy ingredients, but really fun. So we're also going to add some green food coloring. So I'm going to make it look more like the Oobleck. Ooh, that's pretty green.
It's looking good, yes.
I want to say we could probably add a little bit more cornstarch, to be honest. Just a tad. Oh, whoa, did you see how like it got really goopy?
Boy, it doesn't take much to get enough in there.
Let's see. Ooh. See how it kind of like hardens?
And then you
On my
smash it a little bit and it turns into the salad. Wow.
It's so crazy. And if you make make big batches of it, you guys can actually like squeeze it and you'll see how it becomes like a solid, like you can hold it in your hand. But as soon as you release it, it just like goes back to liquid. It's super, super cool. Want to give it a try, Stu?
Oh, merciful gracious, it looks like greenish molasses. So then I'm wondering, can it pour?
Yes.
So it will pour, as you can see. It'll all run down to that edge, but yet I'm feeling the solid part here. This is solid, definitely. I can tap on it.
You can
but
hear it.
It doesn't even sink into it.
Oh, it's like the
Very
coolest
cool.
texture.
So what happens if I take some, gather some up and put in my hand? Ooh, yeah, look. Ooh, I've got some solid and some that's kind of runny. Ooh. Yeah, it's hard to grab because it wants to just
Like bunch up.
and then melt back into itself.
Yeah, it's super fun and super like, oh, it's so messy, but it's so satisfying to play with.
It is. I've gotten started and I don't want to stop.
So yeah, you guys can try different things like try stirring it. You can see definitely the different consistency once she stirs it, and then like once she starts putting it back down, it gets more liquidy. But that's what makes it like a non-Newtonian fluid, because it's the more force you put on it, the more solid it becomes. Whereas like something like ketchup, the more force you put on it, the more liquidy it becomes. Because if you just squirt ketchup right out of the bottle, it's kind of like chunky. So it's really, really, really cool. So I definitely recommend you guys trying this at home.
But then when I release it, it just all melts back.
I know. And there's some really cool videos where they use music and stuff like that to kind of show how it moves. And
You'll definitely want to give this a try. You just start playing with it. You can't stop. Okay.
And it's so cool because then it turns just like straight back into powder.
Yeah.
So if you guys want, you guys could totally let this dry out, and then when you're ready to play with it again, just add a little bit of water and check the consistency, and then it goes right back to being Oobleck. Super cool. Definitely recommend. And if you guys are interested to find out where Oobleck, the name, originated from, we do have the Dr. Seuss book called Bartholomew and the Oobleck here at the library, so you can check it out and see exactly what goes on with this stuff.
A fun story.
Yes, definitely. So
if you get a chance to give it a try, you can share your pictures or a little video with us. Just tag us on Facebook. We'd like to see it.
yeah, we would. And we'll see you guys next time.
All right.
Bye.